Hi, I'm C.C. Péan, and this is Reclaiming Your Health. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reclaiming Your Health on the Reclamation Project. I am C.C. Péan, resident chef and your host. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm so excited, as always. I'm always excited, right? I'm so excited about tonight's dishes. I actually called an audible. Those of you who are in the sports world know what that means. If you're not in the sports world, an audible means I added something at the last minute that we didn't discuss. But it's super easy, and it's something that you can just pull together ingredients, and it's a great addition to your holiday dessert table. Now, the reason I decided to do desserts tonight is because Christmas is going to be here in a few days, and so often we overindulge. I wanted to create something or share something with you all that you could partake in and not feel horrible about it, but still have a really delicious dessert. So, two of the things we're going to do tonight, we're going to do a refrigerator pumpkin pie, and we're going to do ambrosia. Ambrosia is something, I'm a child of the 70s, and ambrosia is something that like I remember that being the thing at potluck, like Jello molds and ambrosia and stuff like that. And so I'm doing a version of that. We're updating it quite a bit. And both of these dishes are going to incorporate flavors from North Africa. It's a little different. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do our pumpkin refrigerator pie. And let me tell you, if you can't do nuts and if you can't do pumpkin, if you can't do nuts and if you don't like coconut, tonight's going to be kind of tough on you. Now, there are ways around it, but both of the desserts have nuts in them. What you could do with the second dessert is use a graham cracker crust. That's also an option. One thing I wanted to share with you before I got started, so I go to the grocery store today to pick up some of the things for tonight, and I did not know that Diamond has nut crusts. These were two for $3.35. This is the walnut. And here is the pecan. I was totally blown away. They're inexpensive. Of course, they're not as clean as they would be if you made it yourself, but in a pinch, if you want to just get something really quickly, you can get these at the store for a really good price. So those are those two. And then I also have some little miniature graham cracker crusts. And the reason I pick these up is because maybe you don't want to make a whole pie. Maybe you just want to have a few vegan bites for whoever's coming over that's vegan or vegetarian, or maybe you just don't want a whole bunch of dessert around. You want to have like a whole bunch of different dessert like platter things. So that's why I'm using this. Okay, you could always make your own graham cracker crust, super easy to make. You can Google that recipe and find it. So the first thing we're going to do is the pumpkin pie. Now, what's going to be unique about this, those of you who have been cooking along with me for the past few weeks, you have heard of Ras el Hanout. Ras el Hanout is a North African spice that is typically used in savory preparations. However, and I'm looking down because I'm reading the ingredients, it also lends itself, in my opinion, to sweet applications, because in Ras El Hanout, there is cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, cloves, cardamom, chili, that's different, coriander, fenugreek, galangal, and rose. Rose is used quite often in North African cuisine, and it's just a really nice, obviously, floral note to add. Galangal is also in there. Galangal is part of the ginger family. It's great for digestion. It's great for stomach issues, very much like ginger. So that is going to go in there. And also, this stuff right here is like nectar of the gods. This is Nature's Charms sweetened condensed coconut milk. Lusciousness in a can. So we're going to put this together super easy. So I've got my bowl. I've got about a cup and a half of pureed pumpkin. Now, you can steam your pumpkin and mash it up. You can buy a non-BPA lined can of pumpkin if you want. You can do sweet potato if you want to do sweet potato if you're one of those people. Interestingly enough, I'm not that versed on that. I know there's people that are diehard pumpkin people or diehard sweet potato people. I am neither or neither. I'm a food person. So we've got that in there. That's about 1.5 to 2 cups. I'm gonna open up this condensed coconut. You're gonna see how quickly this comes together. I'm gonna take this is probably the equivalent to about 3 tablespoons, because this is gonna be all the sweetener that we're gonna use. I'm going to drop in about a tablespoon, about 2 teaspoons of the Ras El Hanout. Just gonna use a pinch of salt. I'm gonna actually use some fresh ginger. Those of you who've been following me know that I love this Gourmet Garden brand. I keep it on hand. I use it all the time. In the morning when I'm making myself yogurt and granola, I'll squirt a little bit of this in my plant-based yogurt and like mix it up, and it's just delicious. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this to that as well. That's probably about 2 teaspoons there. The last thing I believe I'm going to add, I'm going to add a little bit of nuts. So the next thing I'm going to add is some cocoa whip. This is coconut whipped cream from So Delicious. Now, of course, you can make your own. No reason you can't do that. But again, if you don't want to have to go through all of those changes and you just want to do this really quickly, so I'm going to use about a cup of this, okay? And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a whisk to incorporate this. Just gonna incorporate this like this. It's all coming together very easily. Now, this is one of these things that if you wanted a little sweeter, you can make a little sweeter. If you don't, you can take a little bit off, a little bit of that sweetness out by using a little less of the coconut condensed milk. In place of the coconut condensed milk, you are welcome to use honey. You can use agave. You can use maple if you want to. You can use monk fruit sweetener. So this is pretty much come together, okay? So I'm gonna add some nuts in here. If you're the person who doesn't like nuts, you don't have to add them. Or if you're allergic, you don't have to add them, and you would put this then in your graham crust instead of a nut crust, which is what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to taste this to make sure it's everything I'm dreaming of. Delicious. So I'm going to do a little one, and then I'm going to do a big one. This is the graham crust. This is just like perfect. You know, it's just shy of what would be a slice of pie. It's just a way to keep yourself, you know, keep you from doing too much. So to this, I have some crystallized ginger I'm going to put across the top. And a few nuts. And this is going to go into my freezer. Okay. And let's see. Let's do the pecan crust for this one. So the big one is going to go into a pecan crust. These are great because they come with a little lid that you can flip around, keeps it from getting mashed or messed up. Okay. Oops. I think I just put my spoon back in there. Sorry about that, people. Okay. So this is just going to get spooned into the crust. I could actually have used a little more. And that's very easy to just go back in. If you have some more pumpkin on the side, and just add a little more. This also leaves plenty of room for you to put other things on top. All right. So like we did the small one. Actually, this one I'm going to do a little different. I'm going to sprinkle my nuts across the top. Do a little bit of my crystallized ginger. It's like a spicy, sweet bite you get on top. And I'm going to take a little bit of my coconut and put it across the top. Now you could always toast the coconut, which will give it a bit more of a nutty flavor. Or you can do it just like this, or you can leave it out. One of my childhood friends, Eric Cooksey, watches me from time to time, and whenever he hears coconut, he said he turns off the show. So this is going to go into the freezer. Now we are going to work on our ambrosia. Now, ambrosia typically is made with like marshmallows or marshmallow fluff and a whole bunch of super processed things. So I wanted to do something a little different. Actually, I'm doing, it's kind of like tropical fruits. We have mango in there, we have berries, we have some star fruit. What we're bringing into this mix that is very North African is a little bit of rose water for the flavor. Not only are we using rose water, we're going to use a little bit of orange rind and orange juice. It's going to give it a really different, delicious taste. Okay, so let's get started. So I don't know how many of you, I grew up eating mangoes and just kind of like tearing it off with my teeth, but obviously we can't do that for this one. So I'm doing this. I've seen people actually use a peeler, a vegetable peeler for this. But I'm just going to use my paring knife and take this skin off. Any questions tonight? I know I'm looking down quite a bit. And I saw that Yolande tried the pasta and you did a great job. I'm always so excited to see that you all actually make these dishes at home. It's proof that they're not difficult and that the ingredients are like readily accessible. Okay. That. And so what I do is if you can see the seed, typically once you have taken the skin off, you can see kind of where the seed is, and it tends to run right down the center. So I'm going to take my knife and just cut straight down on that side and straight down on this side. So the seed is in the center. Don't throw the seed away. This is some good eating. Okay, so with this ambrosia, key to making this ambrosia delicious, and I know I've said this to you all numerous times, it's even cuts. You want everything to be uniformly cut. Won't be perfect, but you want it uniformly cut so that every single bite, you're getting like all of the ingredients. Okay. So there's our mango. Keeps jumping up. What is going on with my knife tonight? All right. Cut them. Those are going in the bowl. These are just your, run-of-the-mill grocery store mangoes. They're not Julie mangoes, which are the best mangoes in the world. And I got a Honeycrisp apple. Cutting that up now. And again, do even cuts of this. How many of you are actually ready for Christmas? This is such a weird, this year has been like so bizarre. I grew up in a home that Christmas was like, I grew up in a West Indian, West African home, and Christmas was everything. It had nothing to do with gifts. It had everything to do with family and traditional foods and all this stuff. And I'm in Florida. I planned on going to California for Christmas, but COVID, and I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks when I got there. Where am I going to quarantine? So I couldn't go. So I'm a little sad because I'm going to be away from my dad and my aunt and my brother and my family. But I'm here with my hubby, which is great. Okay, so we've got our Honeycrisp and we've got our mango. To that, we're going to add some strawberries. Now, I listed a whole bunch of different things. So really, it's just whatever fruits you want. There's no real rhyme or reason to this. I would just say stay away from things that are kind of like runny and juicy. You don't want that. So we're adding our strawberries. Basically like kind of cubing them, I guess. I bought some blueberries. They're like mutant. They're so big. It's like they're disturbingly big. I wasn't able to find organic, which is something that I should share with you. Whenever you buy berries, try to get organic berries. Anything that you have to peel, you can get away with not buying organic. But if you're biting straight into the flesh, you want that to be organic because otherwise you're basically eating like a pesticide bomb. So we don't want that. All right. So I think this is going to be enough of these berries. I'm going to put a little bit of pear in there. A little bit of pear. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, our blueberries. So all these are going to come together. Just going to mix that up a little bit. Oops. Okay. So what I'm going to do, where's my other bowl? I thought I had another bowl out here. Bear with me, I'll be right back. Okay, so I always like to do Thank you for your patience. I always like to do the, what is going on? I always like to do the creamy mixture separate because I don't want to overdo it. So I do it in a separate bowl and then I add it and mix it into the fruit. Okay, so take a bit, about a cup again, of this cocoa whip, which is taking the place of the marshmallow fluff that usually goes in there. We're going to do about a half to 3/4 cup of vanilla, plant-based yogurt. Something is happening to my, tonight is just so weird. Weirdest things are happening. Okay. To this, I'm going to add some ginger. That just brightens it up. Again, about 2 teaspoons. I'm going to put some zest of this orange in there. You can also use lime or lemon if you like, but again, orange is something like orange blossom is really big in Northern African cuisine. And so that's why this is going in there. And when you zest, you don't ever want to get down to the white because when you get to the white, that's bitter. So you're really just, skating over the skin and just make sure that you're changing it. You're changing positions, locations on the orange frequently. Or else what you will get is that bitter kind of pithy flavor. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of orange juice in there. There we go. So I'm gonna mix this up. This is looking great. And now I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of the rose water. This rose water, actually, you can find this rose water at like I've seen it at Publix and Kroger's, things like that. Okay, so now I'm going to mix this all together. Now this is good just like this. You don't have to do anything else to it. But to me, it's kind of like when I put it in a pie crust, it's kind of like those tarts. You know those tarts you see, those beautiful little tarts? It's kind of like that. This smells so good. Okay. And ambrosia typically has coconut in it. You don't have to add it. I'm using the same finely shredded coconut I used earlier. You can barely see that. Just gonna put a little bit in there. Continue to mix it through. Ambrosia often has walnuts in it as well. So I'm gonna put some walnuts in there. If you wanted to stay more with like the North African theme, you could use pistachios in here. And of course, I'm gonna add some of my ginger, crystallized ginger. All right, let's get ready to rumble. So we're gonna do this one 3 ways. I'm gonna do it kind of like in a parfait, which I think it's just as cute as those little miniature pies. So I just have some graham crackers here. I'm going to, what I like about this too is you get another like layer of texture and flavor. This is something that's fun for kids to join you and make it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make the parfait. So I'm going to put a little bit of this at the bottom. Then we're going to do some of our graham crackers. Now, the best graham crackers to do this with, if you have a Trader Joe's near you, get those cinnamon graham crackers from Trader Joe's. Those are the truth, and they're so good. What's great about this too is you can literally do this at the last minute. Super easy to put together. Okay, and to that, we're going to add a berry. We're going to put a piece of star fruit on top. And a sprig of mint. Let's just put a couple blueberries as well. So here's our parfait. Isn't that pretty? Yay. And then the second way we're going to do it, I'm just going to put it in my cute little graham cracker crust. This is also why it's really important to cut them small, the pieces small, because if you had big hunks of stuff, you would not be able to get much in here. And even better than putting this, in the refrigerator is the freezer. I'm going to cut the strawberry on the bias, put it right on top. What you could also do with this is you could add a little hemp seed. So you could just add some like nutritional density to it. We always want to add the nutritional density. So this is our little tart. You see that? This is our tart. So we've got parfait, we've got tart, and we've got pie. And now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to use our walnut crust now. I don't know who I'm going to give all these desserts to because it's just my husband and I for Christmas. So I think I'll be going down to the Campbell residence and dropping off some desserts. All right. Now we're going to fill this perfect. So this is the 2020 updated ambrosia pie. And it probably is best to freeze this so that you can get a clean cut. And you know, star fruit really doesn't, this star fruit in particular actually has a little bit of a sweetness to it. But typically it's just more decorative than anything. And it kind of has a cucumber kind of texture. I'm going to just put those right down the center. We have some berries. I don't know what I'm doing, people. Hey, that kind of looks a little Christmassy. And what more shall we do? Just a little sprinkle of this across the top. Actually, let me bring my cutting board back. I just thought of something. What we can do, I'm going to julienne some fresh mint. So you get little bites of that mint when it's cut up. If you're not a mint person, you don't have to use it. But I am queen of the layers of flavor. Trying to get this as fine as possible because you don't want big chunks of mint. Not too appetizing. Okay. And we're just going to sprinkle that over the top. I wish you all could smell this. It smells so like earthy and floral. It is everything. So let me bring everything back that we've prepared this evening. And I actually had prepared a few prior to you all joining me. So we've got all kinds of dessert tonight. But the good thing about it is what? They're healthy desserts. They are a healthy take on some traditional dishes. So this is our ambrosia pie, and it's in a walnut crust. We've got our parfait. Isn't that pretty? Look at this. It's just like you just take a glass, like a wine glass. Do that. This is our pumpkin refrigerator pie. I ran out of hand, so I got to come back. This is a miniature ambrosia pie. Super cute. Super cute. And then these are some that I made earlier. They're frozen. I'm going to dig into this one. And then this is the, after it's been frozen, this is the pumpkin pie. All right. So let's get a taste. I would ask my husband to join me, but he is watching the Warriors playing the Nets tonight, so he's not going to get pulled away from that. So let me try this first. This is the pumpkin pie. Very good. Very good. What I like about this is it's light and fluffy, but it definitely has a lot of flavor. And it's not heavy. And throughout it, you get the little bites of ginger and things like that. Really good. This is the ambrosia pie. It's like fruit salad. It's like a creamy fruit salad and a nice graham crust. You taste the orange blossom, the orange flavoring, the rose water. Very nice. Very nice. Before I go, so I want you all to try these. These are a great addition, as I said, to your holiday table. If somebody has an issue with, if you just want to try something different, even if you don't want to do, if nobody's vegan or anything like that, try something different. Every year we like sit down and we have the same things every Thanksgiving, every Christmas. So this is an opportunity to bring something new to the table. Before I let you go, I wanted to let you all know about my spice flight. See if you can see that. These are my 3 lovingly made custom blended spices: tofu scramble magic, diaspora chili blend, and quarantine curry. You can go to great Don. Don said she's going to make it this week. You can go to afkavefoods.com and learn more about this spice flight. I worked on this for years. It was a labor of love. Everything is small batch, made by me, made with love, and I would really appreciate your support. And beyond that, these spices will take your dishes to the next level. If you like tofu, um, and every time you go out and you have it, or every time you try to fix it, it just doesn't taste right. This tofu scramble magic, 1 tablespoon of this over 14 ounces of firm tofu, next level. So these are just great spices to add to your cooking repertoire. So thank you for joining me, everyone. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Festivus, Kwanzaa, everything. I've just really enjoyed being with you all these past few months, and I look forward to next year. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas.